For this short video, I'm just going to quickly explain two key important terms that come up in design, technology and engineering. The first one, ergonomics. Now, ergonomics is incredibly important. This is all about how we interact with things, okay? So this bit here, the first part from the Greek word, ergon, meaning work, okay? Ergonomics, natural. So natural working things. So this is all about how we, people, interact with things. Okay, so this could be a mouse. How easy it is to reach the buttons. Okay, that's to do with making it fit your button, fit your hand to make it work easier for you. Okay, that's to do with ergonomics. How easy it is to push them. Is it too hard? Are they too much effort to push them or not? Okay, that's ergonomics. How well it fits you. But it's not just your hand. It could be not just how hard something is. So this is obviously about opening and closing my hand, but it's how easy that is to open and close. It's got to be within the limits of what we can do, okay, without making our life too hard. So ergonomics we can think of as how we interact with things, how easy something is to open, close, reach, or see. Okay, so in a car, I think it's all about does your hand fit around the steering wheel? Can you reach across to for the indicator, for the handbrake? Those things are ergonomics. Okay, so ergonomics, so how we interact with things. Then another key thing that comes up, really important, that people often get mixed up, is this thing here, aesthetics. Now, aesthetics is how things look. So that's all about how we interact with things. And this one here is how things look. Okay, so some people might think things are aesthetically beautiful or look very nice. Okay, these are things what we think they look like. That can depend on where we come from. That can depend on what we're used to seeing. Okay, if you go back, say we went back 20 years, show someone a phone, look like an iPhone, they wouldn't be impressed. You know, it's not what's expected, hasn't got the buttons that are expected. People wouldn't know how to use it. It's not intuitive because they wouldn't be used to it. Whereas now they are, and now perhaps it's a lot more. People look at it and people expect it to look like that, so we think of that as being aesthetically attractive, so we like it. And likewise, patterns around the globe, globally, some countries might find some things more attractive than others. So that is linked not just to what things are, but our perspective on things. What makes things look nice is determined upon where we come from and what we're exposed to. Whereas ergonomics, that could be different from around the world, because how we interact with things, because not everyone's the same size, and that's really important. So ergonomics has something else that's very important to us, and this is a different term, and it is linked to ergonomics, but they're not the same thing. Okay, this is anthropometrics. So anthropometrics, this kind of body size. So body sizes, how much we could, and the strength of bodies. So this one's important because if we know how big a hand is, or how big the maximum hand is that we need to deal with, we can make things fit it. Okay, so that's why that's very important. So that's human body sizes, or how much we can lift. So we can use that to determine ergonomics. So if you are designing for children, you look at their body, you look at hand sizes maybe. Imagine children's scissors, look at hand size, if one finger sizes, designed to fit their hands. Whereas perhaps the body sizes for adults would be different. So adult scissors would be different size. So it's important to know who you're designing for. And that's their body sizes. And you can make things fit the person, or make them be able to see it or reach it. And that's where ergonomics come into play. Okay? And at the same time, might link to make things look attractive, which is where aesthetics comes in. Now, trouble with body sizes, that's not enough on its own. We then get this other part we need to know about, and that's what do we use? Because everybody's different sizes. So imagine we took some measurements and we created a graph. And we created a graph that went, so imagine we did height. Imagine this is how tall people are. Okay? So further along here you are, the taller you are. And up here, this would be number of people. So you kind of, when you do a thing like this, you measure out lots of people. You perhaps might have not very many very short people, lots of kind of average sized people, and then not very many super tall people. And you got a graph like this. Now this type of graph, okay, this type of curve, we call this a bell curve, okay? That's very important to us. So we get this is a bell curve like this, and it shows number of people, and maybe it could be, I've said how tall someone is, but this could be their hand size, it could be anything like that. I've picked how tall people are for a reason though, because I'm going to imagine a door. Okay, so if we imagine a door, and we're going to design a doorway. Now, do we design a doorway up here to fit every single person? I don't know, probably, that would mean that would be very high, wouldn't it? That would be a super tall door. Or do we use it, do we design a door here in the 50%? Now, I don't want to make a doorway to fit the 50% of people. That means half the people will have to bend down to get through the doorway. So perhaps that isn't the right way for a door. So we need to think what we're designing. It's much more likely that we would design a doorway for the 95th percentile. So 95% of people go through our doorway no worries at all. It doesn't matter if people are smaller than a door, that's okay. But 95% of our people fit through a doorway, and yes, 5% will have to bend to get under a doorway, but most of our people will be fine. So lots of stuff we design for the 95th percentile. Okay, or, depending on what it is, we might design the other end for the 5th percentile. Okay, imagine you wanted to make something, a pair of scissors. How easy it was to open and close a pair of scissors. We wouldn't design it, we would design it for make it so that for the 5th percentile, so the 95% of people could have the strength to open it, and only 5% of people didn't have the strength to open it. Okay, but on the whole, everyone could use the product. So that's very important. So we tend to design for the 5th or the 95th, not really so much for the 50th. So that's where we get, and so we use our anthropometric data to create a bell curve, and then design products to fit. Okay, which is how ergonomics comes in. Right, now I mentioned aesthetics. This is how things look. So this one, we can then link again to, because this is basically the form of an object. So the shape of an object, what it looks like. So we want the form of an object to, at the same time as the form, to it to function properly. So lots of things, we have things that are designed to be form, and this we can say form follows function. Okay, so this is saying the shape of an object, so how it looks, okay, its form follows the function. So this means the function is the most important and the form just follows it. So imagine I've got something here. This is apart from a bike, it's a radio. Okay, it's not the most, it's an old one, not bike, it's a bit scratched, but it's not the most attractive product in the world. Okay, people aren't going to buy a bike based on how well this looks. But this changes the gears. If this does not work, people will not buy the bike. People will not want it. So the most important thing for this product is its function. So its function needs to work and its form comes secondary. So for a product like this, the aesthetics is secondary to its function. So that's the thing, that's a key thing, and a key phrase, form follows function, okay? And that's where it's the function, it's the most important thing. And then there's this, but sometimes the function is not the most important thing. Sometimes the most important thing might be the form, what it looks like. Might be something we're buying because it's aesthetically attractive. So, and that's when we say function follows form. Okay, so this time the function, so what it does, follows the form. So the most important bit here is this bit, the form. So this thing here is an espresso cup, okay? It's got this amazing handle, okay? It's an Ilya espresso cup, and they decided to build like lots of different ones. They have words on, and they decided they have a little collection of these. And the most important thing for this is its form. Okay, they decided it wants to look little circular handle. It does work obviously, but the most important thing they decided was its form. So its handle. Now, if you fill this up with a liquid and you try and hold it by handle, it droops down. Yeah, you can't really hold that and not slip down. It's very hard, and there's no way anyone's fingers can fit through that. Well, a baby's might, but a baby's not going to be drinking espresso. So that doesn't really work, that handle. Yeah, its function is quite poor. Yeah, it's not a good handle. So its function is let down, but its form is what they decided. So they decided the form of it is the most important, and its function is secondary. Okay, so that's something to bear in mind. Some products, some things we design, it's all about the form. It's more important than the function. Okay, because cups all look the same. Well, cups all do the same function, yeah? There's no point having a cup that holds drinks better because they all work. So the form becomes the most important product, the most important thing with it. Whereas some things, like the really Aurelia, it's got to function. It's more important than its form because they don't all function the same. So it's important that yours functions better to make people want it. So function is more important than form. So that's key. And that's a key thing to consider when we're looking at aesthetics. So the key thing for aesthetics is its form. And then we decide, is the form more important than the function? Or is the function more important than the form? Yeah, we decide. That's a key for aesthetics. And a key bit for ergonomics is how we interact with things. So we need to know anthropometric data. It's kind of body part measurements, so body strength things. And then from that, we can plot ourselves a curve, a bell curve, and we decide if we're designing a product for the 95th percentile or the 5th percentile. Okay, so is it so that most people fit it, or is it so that only the very smallest can't use it? Something like that. So is it the very tallest can't use it, or the very smallest can't use it? That's what we need to decide. So that's how we use a bell curve. Okay, so that's a quick introduction to ergonomics and aesthetics, two things that we can easily get confused.